Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch, I'm a chess grandmaster and we continue with our educational streams. So, I will be playing rapid games and during my play I will be commenting on the games. So we have some fun and maybe we will learn something. Let's go! Who will be our first opponent? So, first opponent, we are black. e4, let's continue with the move e5. So, very solid. Knight on c6. a6, we play the main Spanish opening. Line, knight f6, and bishop on e7. This is the main line, d3. Careful line, usually rook e1 is the very main. Let's go with the move d6 to defend the pawn on e5. c3, short castle, all is pretty normal here. Very standard, I would say. h3. Now we have many options here with the move b5, for example, bishop d7, rook e8, many options. Let's try something more interesting with the move knight on d7. So we would like to go knight on c5 eventually, maybe put the bishop to f6 now to prevent somewhere the move d4. Bishop on b3, this is strange because now we get a tempo here with the move knight on c5. There might be idea of d4, but is it working? This is a question. So let's put the knight here. Or should we go d5? Also d5 looking very interesting because we push immediately in the center. So might be not a bad idea, but maybe... I don't know what is the best. Maybe let's go with the move knight on e6. So we stay very solid here. With a knight on e6. Maybe knight on f4. Also, I had a move f5. Maybe I should have played the move f5, by the way. But it's alright. So let's get the knight on f4. Can we? I think yes. So we have a beautiful knight now on f4. The idea is, in case white takes, we take it back. In case white is taking here, we have this knight on h3 check in between. In case white is taking on f4, e takes f4, and these positions are usually not that obvious, so we have the bishop pair. Sometimes I can defend the pawn by playing the move g5, aggressive way, or I can go bishop on g5 to have more solid. Knight on d2, also very solid play by my opponent. Now we have to do something with the bishop. Usually bishop f6 is normal, followed by g5, for example, and get the bishop to g7. This would be something very typical. Or we can start immediately with the move g5, pretty aggressive. So let's go with the aggressive move. King g7, followed by the move h5 and rook h8. So we try to attack immediately. Knight is under attack, so obviously we put a knight to a beautiful square on e5, usually to play d5. White has to prepare the move d5 in most of the cases because, as you can see now, we have this very strong pawn setup. The bishop, in theory, might go from c5 into the game. Queen on h5, very aggressive play by white because queen is not doing much on h5. To attack the black king, this is almost impossible, and we have few ways to play here. Maybe we have option of queen d6, for example, transporting the queen, but it is not really needed, so let's go with the move a5, important positional move a5. First of all, we prevent the move b4. We have the move bishop on c5 long term. And as well, we have this idea of rook a6, getting the rook into the game. So multifunctional idea. Now the pawn on e5 is hanging. We can defend it by simply playing the move f6, which is fine. Also, bishop on f6 is looking well, but it would be the best to put the bishop on c5 in case we can. Should we proceed with the move f6? or should we play the move bishop on f6? I think bishop f6 a bit more careful play, but also f6 is looking good. Let's go with the move bishop f6. I don't understand where the knight is really moving. Knight on h2, knight on g4 is making not much sense. It would be good for white to put the bishop there on g4, but to put the bishop is almost impossible. So we can proceed with our idea of playing rook to the 6th rank, I guess. Rook will be very, very strong on the 6th. Welcome to everyone to VChess. I hope you're having a great day. So, in case you have some questions, please write them down in the chat. I see already the first messages. Nice ideas, man. Yeah, thanks. So, if I can see the chat, yes, I can see the chat. Rook on b6 would try to attack the pawn, and the idea that we had, it was to play the move bishop g7 following by the rook attack. So let's continue. We would like to attack the white king in theory because we have here more pawns. Of course, we have different sort of ideas here with the black color. But the idea of putting the rook somewhere here, g6, h6 is looking good, because in case I get this h5, g4, it will be a very dangerous attack on the white king. As you can see, the knight on h2 is not doing much, so the idea of knight f3, knight on h2, it looks a bit strange. The queen is not really doing something there. Let's transport the rook as we wanted. So next we are getting ready somewhere for the move g4. We must be patient with the move g4. Maybe it might work immediately, but maybe not. So let's see what happens next. I see a question, what I think about Vincent Kamer. Well, what to think? He's very, very strong, obviously. We see his results. He's doing excellent. The last couple of years, I think he improved a lot. So now he's one of the top chess players of the world. I think this question can be easily answered by his results. Take a look at his results, playing very, very impressively. So, queen on e2 followed by the move queen on d1. It looks like my opponent is a little bit confused. Maybe he wants to go bishop e2, bishop g4. This is the right idea. Obviously, we have the move f5 then. Looks good. But can we go with the move g4 immediately? So the knight will take. Then we have the move h5. Knight goes back. We take the pawn on h3. It's looking very, very good. So let's go with the move g4 instantly. If pawn takes, then we get the queen to h4 and rook to h6. So this is looking like it should be game over, I believe. Maybe there is a defense for white, but it looks very, very dangerous at least. But I think there is no defense, by the way. In case knight is gonna take, we have this h5 option. As I mentioned, knight needs to go back, and we're gonna take on h3 or to play the move queen on g5, which is also looking good. But I think we're gonna take. I see another question in the chat: how to improve calculation? Very simple. Do puzzles and you will improve your calculation. There is nothing easier than improve the calculation. So when do you start playing chess seriously? I don't know. This is a difficult question. I became Grandmaster with 15, so quite early. What's the fastest rise you have seen in chess? Fastest rise? I think very easy. We have the top chess players of the world for that. All of them became very quickly grandmasters. Many of them became grandmasters already at the age of 12 or 13, so very, very young. So obviously this is the biggest and the fastest rise in the chess history. We have this kind of cross tables, who became Grandmaster first. I think it is quite irrelevant, it's not so important to become the youngest Grandmaster, but still it is a clear indication. So this is official data. Queen on g4, we would like to take the pawn, and of course we don't change the queens, so we go back. Rook here is the next move, following by the checkmate. F3. White tries to escape the checkmate, but is there an escape? It would be beautiful to get the bishop here somehow on a fate, and c5. If I can get the bishop, it is just over. In case I go rook h6, the king in theory might try to run away, so we should not give, of course, the opportunity for the king to run away. We have the move queen on g3, we have also the moves to double the rooks on the g file, looking very, very good, so this is what I'm gonna do. King on h8, rook on g8, idea number 1, idea number 2, to get the bishop to c5 and just to deliver a checkmate. So we have like double ideas here. Also rook h6 of course is a good move, but we can wait a little bit with the move rook h6 I think. As well, we might just go back with the queen, followed by bishop h4, bishop on g3, and a checkmate on h2. Too many different threats to the white king to survive this position with the white pieces is almost impossible, because all the white pieces are just so passive. Way too passive to survive. So king h8, rook g8, queen on g3, followed by rook h6, queen on h5, bishop h4, bishop on g3. Too many different threats. Rook on f2, a try to escape with the king over f1. Makes sense, but we can get now our bishop to c5. Beautiful position for the bishop on c5. So it's like you're having this kind of free roll attack with the black pieces. There is nothing to worry in the current position for black, so we can be very, very relaxed. b4, a pawn sacrifice. Okay, let's take it. Still, the move bishop c5 is coming next. Very difficult to defend from the bishops there. Rook gets to c2. It is a defense, but is it a survival? Because I can go bishop a5, bishop on b6 still. I believe I should be able maybe to aim even for more than that. It looks like it should be checkmate somewhere, but I think bishop on a5, bishop b6, the most simple solution. Why should we be very creative in a position which is basically winning with simple moves? No reason that we do something special here. King tries to escape on e2, but this is not an escape because I can take on e1 and then there is rook takes g2, so I guess now bishop takes e1. Let's calculate together. Queen takes, we give a check. King goes to e2, we take. King gets to d1 and we play rook to g1, winning the queen. So this is looking completely winning. Of course, we can play first king h8, following by rook to g8. Nothing wrong with that, but why not to win the game on the spot? So this is what we do. We take. As the calculation goes, queen take is a must, otherwise white is being just a piece down. Welcome to everyone in the chat. I hope you're having a great day, great evening, wherever you are. I am streaming from the UAE, so for me it is just midday. We give a check here and resignation. So quite a nice game. In case you enjoy my comments, in case you enjoy our content on VChess, please like and subscribe. So let me read the questions in the chat a little bit. Are you a GM? Yes. If in case you can read, you can see that I'm a GM. Do you think due to modern technology and chess engines, currently GMs in this era are more advanced? Yes, of course. Of course. The theory is very much advanced, obviously. So, sir, how to improve my game? I'm 2100chess.com, but still sometimes in real tournaments, I have to face problems. Okay, online chess and over-the-board chess is completely different, so two very, very different things. You cannot compare these two. How old are you when you beat your first GM? I don't remember. Maybe, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. But back then it was different times. So you could not face too many GMs because back then there have been not so many GMs in the world. Now there are much more GMs than before. So this was not the same. And I became international master already with 13. So it was probably the time when I was already beating time to time some GMs. So what else do we have? Around which elo do you see most people stagnate? I think 1600. This is more or less the elo that is not so easy to break, 1600, 1800, because you already need to put some effort. Alright, so we have the Spanish opening here. This is called one of the main lines, and probably my opponent, he wanted to play the Marshal, so I continued with his anti-Marshal line with the move A4. All here is still theory, so all is pretty normal. Let's go with the move A5. Take. Now we are aiming to play D4 and try to get a slightly better play, so not much. Rook on B8. Let's go with the move D4. Rook B8, rook to B5 is a nice idea, obviously, but on the other hand, is black in time to do this? Rook to B8, rook to B5. So now black has to think to allow the move D5 or not to allow. My opponent allows me to play the move D5, so I play the move D5, the knight on A7. Not a great piece, but it's fine, it's fine. It's a normal position, so let's get the queen to D3. We try to grab the pawn on A6, and now we have rook A4, rook B4 idea, or a simple bishop on D2. I like the move bishop on D2 because we would like to take the pawn on B4. My opponent just resigns. What is this? The game has just begun, and already it's a win, Naiditsch. Alright, let's search for a new one. White again. Let's go with the move knight f3. The last game we have played the move e4, so let's play something else. We play the King's Indian reversed. So with white, it is usually called the Reti opening. So bishop on g2. Short castle, followed by the move d3, followed by the move knight bd2. King's Indian reversed, very, very normal. Knight bd2 is the next move, and the move e4 is coming next. Welcome everyone to the channel. I hope you're enjoying my comments. We're playing some rapid games, and I'm commenting during the game so we can enjoy and maybe learn something. C3, very typical for a King's Indian. Next move, we get the queen here. He's getting ready for this b6 approach eventually. So maybe we should go knight on c4 immediately. Is it a good move or a bad move? I think it's normal. We try to attack the pawn on e5, so we try to get this kind of a little bit better position with white. Not so much, but a little bit. I think I can take and I can go queen to e2 as well. I think to take is pretty normal. Is it? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Black most probably gonna take. We will take. So we have this kind of symmetrical position where usually it's slightly better for white. Not much, but slightly, because we have the beautiful bishop on g2. It's not much again, but it's pleasant to play. Slightly better endgame. Are you on Twitch? No, I'm not on Twitch. No, we don't do Twitch. Knight on d6. He wants to get out with a bishop to f5, so can we stop bishop f5 move? No, we cannot. But I think we can play something like bishop e3, bishop c5. It is looking pretty normal. Bishop f5, we have here ideas of playing g4, but I don't know if g4 is needed. So should we play this idea to attack the pawn on b7, or should we put the bishop to f4? It feels more natural to have the bishop on f4, so let me put the bishop to f4 because it feels just right to have this kind of pressure here towards the c7 pawn, and knight from e5 can try to get to c5 next. I think I should play it, so knight on d3 looks pretty logical. Maybe we will be able to grab a pawn on b7. Maybe we will be able to play the move knight on c5. So, as I mentioned, we have this kind of slightly better endgame where white is eventually capable of pushing a little bit for a win. We have several ideas. Knight on c5 idea number one. In theory, we might even go back with a bishop to e3. Then we have this knight f4 and knight to d5 idea. To get the knight here on d5 would be very, very good for white. We are aiming to get somewhere bishop pair, so we try to get one of the bishops of black and push in an endgame, because in case we have endgame where bishop pair versus knight and bishop, and we have here 3 pawns and 3 pawns on the queen side, so it might be a better position for white. Knight on c5, we continue with what we started. Bishop now has to go back, so this might give us some time to do something eventually. Let's bring the rook maybe here to the e-file. The rook is beautifully placed. As well, we had the option of playing knight on e4. Yeah, maybe I should have considered more to play the move knight e4. Still, I have the option of knight e4. There is b6. Maybe I should wait for the move b6 and then to play the move knight to e4, because there is no rush. White to rush in the current position, but knight e4 is also looking good, so should I rush it or should I play slowly here? I don't know. To take on d6 is possible to break the pawns of black, but then black is gonna have the bishop pair, so I don't like to give black this kind of opportunity. Maybe rook to e2, so just to double here on the e-file is not looking bad at all. And too many options out of nowhere. So maybe let's bring first the rook to d1, because the rook is beautifully placed here. We have all the pieces in the game. He tries to be safe. Yeah, perfect defense by my opponent. But do we have here some tricks with the move bishop takes b7? Does it work? I don't think it does, so a bit too early for the tricks. What can we do here? Maybe to play knight on b3 back, attacking the pawn, and then bring the knight on d4. This is not looking bad. I'm a little bit scared of this bishop g4 with a tempo. Feels unpleasant. So maybe let's go with the move h3. Just a waiting move. Let's see what happens next. Because all this bishop g4 all the time feels like h3 is gonna be a useful move in the future. I would like to play knight e4 or knight on b3, depends. So we try attacking the black pawns a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So this is a push for a slightly better endgame. It's a long game. So welcome everyone who is new to VChess. In case you're enjoying my comments, please like and subscribe. We have a lot of things on VChess. You can also download our application. We have a very nice app on the market. It is an educational app, so you start very early like a beginner, and then you grow, and the things are getting more complex and more complex. So I see I just reached 2000 and there is no way easier. Hard to understand what is meant by that. b6 is being played. Now we go back as we planned to e4. We would like to kick out the knight from d6, so the c7 pawn is going to fall. Definitely enjoying the commentary. Yeah, thank you very much. What was wrong with bishop g5? The same, king f8 or f6. I don't think I had the option of playing bishop g5. Which app? The name is vChess. You can find it in your app store, so it's for Google and for Apple, so just download the app, or you can go to our website and download the app as well. There's a link for it. Rook on d8. Alright, so after rook to d8 we can have already a slightly better endgame. After taking on d6, is it enough? Can I do something more than slightly better endgame? This is a question. To achieve more is gonna be difficult here. I don't think we can achieve something more than that, because knight on g5, I would like to get some kind of bishop pair position, but how to get it? There is bishop f5 next, and maybe I should go like here, here, and knight d4, knight c6. Very long way. This is a very, very long way. To take on d6, it's better, but it's just so little better. How can we get much better here with white? I don't know. Maybe let's try still the move knight on g5. I'm not sure it is the best, but it's interesting because we would like to take the pawn, and simultaneously we would like to get this knight to f3, knight on d4. It also gets the knight to c6, so we force him to give up on his bishop pair. Very important to get the bishop pair. In case we can, it's gonna be a way better position for white, so let's see if we can. Still, this pressure here, quite unpleasant, I would say. The knight cannot be moved from d6, so on one hand it's a beautiful knight on d6, on the other hand the knight cannot be moved. So is it a good knight or is it a bad knight? Very difficult to say. We would like to take the pawn on h7. Is there a defense against it except taking or playing the move bishop on f5? We have only two options to play. h6. This looks like I will be able to maybe play the move knight h7. It looks so dangerous for black to do something like this, but maybe it's possible, but I don't think so. So in case I would be black, to play h6 feels so dangerous, so risky. He does it. He goes for this very risky play, but is it not just a win? We go here, we give a check, or bishop h6 first. Maybe we give check. He has to play. Can we just take the knight and take with the bishop and that's it, because the bishop is falling? Yeah, I think we have the option of giving a check. Let's recalculate, because we have here many options. Also bishop e5 is looking good, so let's recalculate. Bishop on c6, only move bishop d7. We will take, only move to take. We take back and we grab the bishop on e7, so it feels like a win. Let's go for it. Alright, let's recalculate for the last time, not to make a blunder. Take, bishop takes. There's no way to defend the bishop on e7, so this is just a checkmate. Let's take. So we played quite a good positional game in my opinion, and being under pressure, our opponent gave us a chance for this kind of beautiful tactics here. We take rook takes d6, and yes, now it's gonna be, I think, game over. So or he finds something, or it's time to resign. Two options. Let's see, still 4 minutes on the clock for our opponent. Yes, he resigns. He missed it, so let's offer a rematch. Let's be decent, I think. Rematch? No. No. Our opponent doesn't like to play us, so let's start a new game. Quite a nice win, So, in case you enjoy my comments, my games here, in case you see some value, like and subscribe. I see a question. Hi sir, I'm stuck on my chess rating and I'm decreasing. What is a way to increase? A way to increase is start working on chess. There is no other way to increase. Keep on working, keep on getting better. People are way too lazy. Everyone wants to become better, but no one wants to do anything, so this is not the way it works. Let's go with the move knight to m6. We have the Sicilian defense, and this is called the Rouser variation. h3, quite a rare move for a Rouser. I don't know what is the point of the move h3, so now I think we can go just with the move g6 and bishop on g7, so we have a very good version of a dragon. Now it is like a dragon, but the main line of a dragon is with the move f3. Now we have this very aggressive play by white, but is it a good play? I'm not sure. It looks a bit weird to do that. Short castle. I'm not so scared of this direct attack, usually it doesn't work. And as well, the white king currently is on e1. Very aggressive play. g5. Does it work? Doesn't look like working. So we have knight h5. Then we would like to take on d4 and get the knight to f4. Looks good. Maybe there is also simple knight on d7 with a nice position, but why not to play knight h5? We would like to take now on d4 and get the knight to f4. Looks very, very powerful. King on e1, so we will be able to push, I guess, something in the center. To keep the king on e1 is in most cases so dangerous. So we have similar questions. 1800 wants to get to 2000. What to do? Just keep on working, man. There is no other way. Chess is not for lazy people, so you must be a hard worker to improve in chess. What can we do next? It feels like queen on a5 deserves attention, but then there is this knight on b3 back. So I think I should follow my strategy just to take on d4 is looking very good. Then to play e5 and knight f4, for example. So I have this beautiful knight on f4. I think I should take, or queen a5 also looks very good, so I don't know, should I take or should I play something else? This position is already quite nice. Okay, let's take. It feels like the right decision. Also very, very simple decision. So we can go with the move e5, bishop e6, I think is the most natural. He might take the pawn on d6 somewhere, but we're gonna have a beautiful play for it. So e5. It feels we weaken the pawn on d6, but in fact it's not exactly like that. Knight f4, as you can see, we can straight go for the pawn on g5. I just don't know. Also, bishop e6 is looking so good just to get the rook to c8. This position, I believe, is already better for black, but let's put the knight on f4. It cannot be a bad thing to have the knight on f4, a beautiful knight. We would like to take the pawn on g5. Also, bishop e6, very natural development, is coming next. I believe black is already doing better. So we did nothing special. We played just logical moves, and step by step we are having a nice position here with the black pieces, because the white king on e1 is still uncastled. White tried to attack me. g5, h3, but it's not really a dangerous attack. So white played a bit too slow in the opening, a bit unprecise regarding the strategy, because white wanted to attack, but it was quite strangely made. Rook on g1, a sacrifice of the pawn on h3. Should we take the pawn? I don't think we should, because why to take the pawn? Let's get bishop out to e6, because in case we can take the pawn, it's not bad to take the pawn, but I think we should aim for more in the current position. It looks like black should have more than just taking the pawn. We should try to give a checkmate to the king on c1. We have this powerful knight here on f4. What could be the next move? Queen a5. In case white is taking here, we have the move for rook to d8. After queen on a5 for white, knight on d5. This is just a bad endgame. On the other hand, we can go also here queen on b6, attacking the pawn on f2, and let's see what happens next. But I think queen on a5 is just looking nice. Very, very natural to put the queen to a5. We would like to try to get to the a2 pawn. I guess white is gonna play the move a3. I don't think there is something better than the move a3, and then we're gonna proceed with simple move rook to c8. So very simple play, but it looks just like a good play. We sacrifice a pawn on d6. If queen takes, I believe I can sacrifice the exchange on c3. Take, queen takes, and we have this very powerful attack on the king on c1. On the other hand, do we need to do that? Do I need to sacrifice anything in the current position? I don't think I have to. I can proceed with very simple moves like rook to d8, for example. Because the position is just so good, we are getting ready to play the move d5. Only there is one issue here. We must be careful with the move knight on e2 somewhere, because we would not like the knight on f4 being exchanged. On the other hand, we're gonna win the pawn on a3, so also this is looking like a good position for black. So it seems like it doesn't matter what we do. It is a very, very nice position. Let's see what is coming next. I think h3 is sort of forced. I don't think there is something else. Maybe there is, but I don't see what else white is capable of playing except the move a3. White has to defend the pawn on a2 because there is nothing better. Very, very long thinking for our opponent. But I think king on b1, this is a little bit strange because now the knight cannot be moved. Maybe he's hoping for this knight on d5 idea to get the knight to f6, but is it so great to get the knight to f6? And as well, I might be able to stop white from this knight on d5. Let's see, let's calculate a little bit if we can stop white from playing knight on d5. I don't know, maybe we cannot, so we have to play... I don't know if we should even do that, so... Hard to tell. Rook to c8, rook to d8. So to go here, here, d5 next eventually, to keep the queens on the board, or to change the queens also. Not an easy decision to make. But alright, let's think. Knight d5, I have this queen a4, there is this move b3. So, maybe first to move the queen is making sense, so attack the pawn on f2 in case white takes, we're gonna take. Or we have to defend the queen by playing b6, but it feels strange to play b6, feels very, very unnatural in my opinion to play the move b6. I don't think we should go with the move b6. So, let's go with easy move like rook to d8. Very, very solid. We would like to play the move d5. I think white is going to play for knight on d5. There is nothing else, so I just put the rook to d8 because in the future I would like to play the move f6 to open my rook in case we will be reaching an endgame. So, let's see what happens next. Thank you for the nice comments in the chat section. Thanks in case you like my comments, in case you're enjoying the game, yeah? That's good, that's good. And I hope as well that you're getting slightly better. So we analyze a lot of different positions here. So it can be very useful for your own practical games. We have beautiful knight, protected by the pawn. Endgames should be nice for black. I would like maybe to push d5 next. It is not a must. I can also go king g7 idea. Rook h8 followed by the move h6. This is also possible. So many options here for black. Position should be, in my opinion, slightly better for black. Not much, but slightly. Let's calculate. Can we go with the move d5? Knight is gonna take. We take. Yes, this is possible. We'll have a nice endgame for black, but I think we can aim for more. Just a nice endgame feels already not good enough, so let's go with the move king on g7. Let's wait. This move is useful. This cannot be a bad play. And let's still consider somewhere to push the move d5 in case we can. Also positional play by white here with a move h4. So, should we continue positionally like... Or can we play the move d5? I'm just afraid it's not enough to win the game. This is my worry, that it's not a bad play, but it feels like we should be much better. So maybe let's go queen on c5, he will play this queen on e3, so this is better for black. So let's go. Let's go with queen c5, then there is knight e2. So we should be a little bit careful, because our knight might be changed. This, of course, we should avoid. We should avoid the change of the knight. Maybe to play b6, but feels a little bit strange to play the move b6. On the other hand, we have the idea of playing d5, so... Not an easy position, because too many options here, and we always have to be careful, so I think queen c5. Yeah, queen c5 is good, because knight on e2 we can take the pawn on f2. I threat to play the move d5 next, so maybe it feels like not a bad decision to play the move queen on c5. I'm waiting for this knight on d5 to happen, so I'm gonna take it, and then we have the position where we have the knight f4 versus the bishop on f1, and obviously bishop on f1 is not a great piece, so black will be doing better. We have the options of playing f6, opening the f-file, trying to make some pressure there, or we play a very conservative chess, so we get the rook back to c8, and we get the rook to c7. We try to change everything on the board and get an endgame knight versus bishop, so it's gonna be a great endgame for black. Maybe this move rook to d8 was not the best. Maybe I should have played rook fd8 and put the other rook straight on c8, but I wanted to keep this option of playing f6 on potentially possible, so this was my idea. Queen on e3. To take is a better endgame for black, so we can play just the move a6, I think. Can we? Yes, looks decent. a6 is going to be very useful in a lot of different endgames, so b5 is coming next. We have the beautiful knight. We try to push step by step, so it is not a much better position for black. That's why we have to be careful. We are doing slightly better. This is all we have here. Should we go straight for this endgame? Because if pawn takes, I go straight knight h5 and to play the move f6. This is for sure better. If rook takes, we keep this beautiful knight here. So maybe let's go for the endgame. He takes with a rook, but now I think I have the option of playing f6, because I take next with a rook. You see that a6 move is very useful to avoid this knight on b5. That's why I played the move a6. Now we have some pressure on the f-file. This is number one. Plus we're gonna play nice positional move h5 next, so we're getting ready for g5 and h4. The h pawn is going to run. So h5 followed by the move g5. Of course, again, not immediately. We must have patience here. We are not aiming for something quick. This is gonna be a long game, and we're playing the long game. So h5, as we said. Eventually king gets to h6 with the idea of playing g5. Maybe there is something better, something more direct with black, but I'm not sure. So we keep on positionally pushing white here. Maybe we should also put the bishop somewhere and then to play the move rook f8, but I think it is too early, so let's continue with our main idea, to play the move g5. Maybe I should have played g5, rook g6, also possible, yeah. He now prevents the move g5, but I think we should be able now to go against the pawn on f2. How we can do that? By playing bishop on f7. Let's wait a little bit so we can annoy him with this knight e6 96 idea. Sorry. Let's go with the move rook f8, so we're getting ready. Maybe I can move the bishop back to g8 in case I need it. He's not afraid, he's not afraid. Maybe let's go back, yeah. Let's go back so we put even more pressure here. Idea, knight on e6 in a good moment. He's still not afraid, so I believe it's time. Is it time to go knight on e6? I don't know, because there is no need to do moves like knight on e6. Okay, let's go first with the move rook c8. We have all the time in the world, so let's not rush. Let's not rush, let's keep the idea of knight e6 on the board. There is no rush, just slowly we're getting this kind of low time position, so I will have to play a little bit faster. Otherwise, we might be losing on time. We should play the move knight e6 in the right moment. Maybe to play rook c6, then to play knight on e6. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens next. He wants to change our knights. Okay, let's go. Let's change. And I think I can play the move rook to here. h4 pawn is under attack. He wants to grab the d pawn, but I think we have rook on c6 if I'm not mistaken. We're just defending the pawn on d6, and now the pawn h4 is going to fall. So after the fall of the pawn, I think that's it. Under normal circumstances, there is no way to save such a position for white. The h pawn slowly should just be a queen. Very difficult to stop the pawn, so we start walking. f4, he's playing for tricks. Nice play, by the way, from my opponent, because he tries to do something, but I think it's just too late. It is just too late. We will promote very soon. Let's go with an easy move. Rook g1, h2 is coming next. He's fighting. He is fighting. So now we can play bishop h7. Just I would like to win the position without giving any major chances to my opponent. Of course, we had many different ways to win the positions like this, but let's go with the move rook f1. So we control here. Let's play bishop on g8. The only thing I have to play a little bit faster soon, but the rest is very good here, obviously. Position is complete, game over. Let's push. Let's push. So let's take. Let's take. We took almost all the pawns of our opponent. Almost nothing left. Look at this beautiful bishop here on h1. No squares to go, literally no squares to go. So now we advance with our king and it should be over. Yes, we win, we win. In the end, it was not so easy because of the little time on the clock, but strategically I think it was a good game. We managed to get this endgame with a knight on f4. This is what we wanted. No rematch, no rematch. Our opponent doesn't like to play us again. Well, what to do? Let's search for a new one. So welcome everyone to VChess. I hope you are enjoying my comments, you're enjoying the games, you have some kind of benefit from it, because you can implement similar things to your own games, and of course, like and subscribe to VChess. We have a lot of nice educational content here on the channel. We have application, we have nice chess books, so a lot of different things on VChess. We have here this kind of Sicilian with the move c3, knight on c6. All is pretty normal for the current moment. Also, our opponent is just playing so fast. Look at the speed of play of the opponent. Why is he playing so fast? Queen on e2. This is a typical idea to get the rook to d1. So this is something normal. We would like also maybe to play moves like bishop on d3 somewhere, but let's put the rook to d1. The rook takes a beautiful position on d1. All is very, very normal. Bishop on d7. What could be the plan of my opponent? I don't know. Because maybe rook on c8, but it's not very dangerous. So let's continue with the move a3. Next move is bishop on d3. Idea, we want to get queen e4 eventually. Not always good to play the queen e4 move, because there is sometimes for black a defense, and it is to play the move f5. So it's like 50-50, depends. With the move a3, we would like to keep our bishop alive, so we don't have this knight f5 or similar ideas to attack the bishop on c4. To play now queen on e4, yes, this is possible. As well, to play knight on d2 followed by the move knight e4 is looking like a good decision. So let's see. Let's go with the move knight on d2, maybe to bring the extra piece into the game. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much by Play Chess Live. Appreciate it. I think you are maybe the first one. Thank you very much. In case you're enjoying, in case you are getting some nice chess ideas for your own games, yeah. It makes, of course, the stream sort of sense. It gives to a streamer a sense. In case nobody learns nothing, this feels quite sad then. Bishop on d3, so we keep our bishop alive, as we said. This is... oh, does it work? Oh, I have missed the move knight f4 because I was so confused by Play Chess Live. I missed immediately the move knight f4 because I thought first there is just bishop h7, king h7, and I'm gonna take the knight, but then knight g6. Of course, it doesn't work. What a terrible move by me, because instead of being much better now, it's sort of unclear game. Yeah, this is chess is a game of focus. We have to stay focused all the time. In case we're not, this is what happens. You're getting immediately punished in case you're not focused. Yeah, terrible blunder, what to say. In case we go here, it is just an equal position, but there is nothing better I can do, I think. So we have to go for this equal position after the big mistake by me. Queen e4, and then we have to take back. So black is gonna have this bishop pair. We have the beautiful bishop gone from d3. Oh. And bishop on a4, also good play. I have to take the queen on d8, there is nothing better, and we have to move the rook. It's gonna be a difficult defense now for white. This is a very difficult defense. We are under pressure, but let's see, maybe we'll be able to defend the current position. With a bit of luck, it's gonna be okay. So b4, because we would like to get the knight somewhere or to change the knight. After changing knight, it's gonna be okay. So still we are fighting, so it's not over. It's by far not over, not even close. Take. We changed our bad knight, so this is a good thing. And now bishop e3 is looking logical to get the knight on d4, or maybe should we go with the move bishop g5, but then we have the move f6, so it doesn't help us. Let's get the bishop out to e3, then let's get the knight on d4. So in case I manage to change the bishop e3 versus bishop e7, this position is going to be equal. So it's gonna be perfectly okay. We are back. We are back. It was looking for some moment that position is pretty bad, but I think we are sort of back. Maybe black is doing a little better, but it's not much better. So these are the good news here. So bishop takes f3. Is it dangerous? No, I don't think so. So maybe let's get the rook. Actually, which rook to put here? Rook, maybe. Hard to say. I think maybe rook from the e file, because I'm a little bit scared that there is some a5 idea somewhere. At the moment, a5 is not working, but somewhere. And I would like also to bring my king nearer to the center. So yes. I see a question in the chat. Could you check with the bishop? King gets the bishop and then to give a check with the queen. Yes, this is what I wanted to do, but then there is a knight goes back, knight g6, and this is what I have missed. So it is not working. Yeah, it's pity, but it is not working. So let's play maybe the move bishop on b6 now. Should we? Should we play the move bishop on b6, or more conservative, try to make some draw? I think let's go with the move bishop b6, because we attacked the rook on d8, so the rook has to be moved somewhere. And this is already like a little achievement by white, because not a big achievement, but a small achievement. We got rid of this rook on the d file. So what comes next? We should bring the king into the game. This would be something very, very normal, but there's g5 coming next. Not so pleasant, but I don't think I can do something against it, so let's go with the move. Should we? Yeah, I think we should. So king gets a little bit closer here to e3. This is going to be a very long endgame, because black was a bishop pair, so black is doing better. And my idea is to change the bishop in case I can. This is going to be more or less a draw. Of course, this is objectively speaking. We have here sort of a pressure on the c file, but it's also pressure against the black c file. So it's very important to control the c file. Maybe we... Oh, he takes, he gives up his bishop, so this is not a great idea, because now it is just a draw. To give up the bishop is not the best idea ever. I have no idea why he's doing something like this. He should have kept, of course, the bishop on d5. So powerful bishop. Now white is perfectly okay. We play the move bishop e3 because we are fighting for the line. Next move is king on e2, so the position is equal. Currently we managed to equalize. So let's play. Maybe we will be lucky, and slowly we'll be able to push even for a win here. Of course, hard to imagine to win a position like this, but who knows, because our opponent played not the best move. He showed some weakness. So maybe we will be able to do something. Let's get the king as good as we can. And then we're gonna take on c8 and play this rook on d1, rook on d7. This is the idea for white. We have to play maybe also rook c5 idea. Very interesting, because we will have this pressure on the b file. So in any case, we should try to get the king as active as possible, and then we see what happens next. He wants to get the king to f5. Also, this is making perfect sense. Now the question is, should we take? Should we take, or... And then to play this king on d4, king gets to f5. Not so pleasant in case black king gets to f5. So maybe first to play the move king e4, not to allow the black king gets to f5, and then we see what happens next. Maybe f4, maybe also rook to c5 now is something that we can consider playing. Let's think a little bit here. We have some options. It's not like we have no options at all. I believe he wants maybe to take, but not so easy. So let's go with the move a4. We are advancing where we are doing better. It is on the queen side, because the king is just so near. In case we manage to get with the king, king d4, king c5, king on b6, it is just game over. So we try to be active on the queen side. Maybe b5 could be the next move, but then black is gonna take and put the rook to d5. Yeah, this is not the best. This is not the best. He takes and rook on d2. So the idea is probably to play rook on b2 or to take the pawn. But now we're gonna take the b pawn here. So let's try who is faster. Let's see. Let's see who will be faster. My king is just so well positioned on e4. So the king can go here over d4. Rook a2, by the way, strange decision, because now I can just play the move a5 and I will take the pawn on b7 next. I don't know why he helps me. Okay, we can say thank you. Now he takes, I take, because the pawn was here, but what is the idea for black? This is not a great idea. He's way too passive. I think I should be now quite quick with king on d4. Let's calculate a little bit the current position. Yeah, this is looking like a good move because we will protect the pawn on b4. Or should we play the move b5? Also, this is looking like quite a good idea. Take, take, king gets to c5, then we play the move a6. I don't know what's better. I think I should play king on c3. By the feeling, king c3 is looking like the right idea. We are getting ready to win the pawn on a6, and simultaneously we are here h4, take h3. We go here h2, take, take, b5. I think we are in time. I think we're in time. Are we? Rook b6, h4, take h3, rook a8, king g7. Oh, we're not in time. I thought we are in time, but we are not. So this is bad. I have to play then something like king on c2 first. I didn't want that to do that. So king on b2. A little bit strange what is going on here. It feels I should be able to push something, but I cannot find a way to push. Now to push here. Not so obvious. Maybe I should. I don't know. Crazy position here. Who is faster? Maybe rook to b8. So we have the idea of playing rook h8. And it should be b5 in the right moment, but when is the moment? This is a question. It doesn't look like it is right now. Strange, we have a good rook, but it's like I can do nothing with the rook. Feels very, very strange. Okay, let's go king on c2. I'm not sure why I need it, but maybe I can stop now the pawns with a king eventually. Can I? I'm not sure I can. Let's play the move maybe e4. Something very weird is going on here on the chessboard. It feels so strange. All the moves are so strange. Rook on d7, quite a strong play, but the guy is playing so good. I have to push b5 because I don't have something else. So now I'm gonna take. And let's see who is faster, because I have this rook to b1 idea. So I think I have to play rook to b1, followed by the move rook a1, and then to move with a king as fast as I can. So here, now I will be trying to run with my king. Running. g4. Okay, I have to take here. And what should I do here? It looks like a draw. How should I play? I believe I should give a check. Very little time on the clock, so I have to play fast. Come back. Now, I think I can maybe try to win the game. Very strange play by my opponent, because before he played so well. Now he started to play not the best, but still it is a draw. So it is going to be a draw. Quite pity. I think we had good chances, but the crazy rook and game. We made a big mistake, obviously, in the beginning of the game. So to give the bishop on d3, but crazy endgame, which is ending now in a draw, because we can do nothing to win the game. Yeah, that's pity. That's pity. So close. It was so close to win the game. Finally a draw. Finally a draw. Well, what to do? Crazy rook and game, but at some moment our opponent started to play so well. Like in between he played not the best, but then he improved a lot and started to play very good moves, and yeah, crazy endgame. To lose on time, not yet. Not so easy to beat me. Not so easy. It is possible, of course, but not so easy. The endgame was in the end too easy to lose on time. So, yes. Welcome everyone to our channel VChess. I hope you are enjoying our educational chess content. Like and subscribe in case you do. Let's see who will be our next opponent. Let me read a little bit the chat to see what happened here. Some questions. I see the chat is getting a little bit more active. Good to see that. So, still the chat is very calm. Thank you very much to play chess again. Yeah. Thank you for the support. It's very important, the support for the people online, as all of you know that without your support there would be no channels online, except the very big guys, of course. So the next game we have here, knight on c3, knight on f3. The idea is to play the move e4, so we stop the e4 move by playing the move d5. Very simple. Bishop f4, knight on b5 idea eventually, but this is not so dangerous because we have the move knight a6 as a defense. e3, simple short castle, very normal moves, and c5. This is usually the way to play these positions with the black color. He takes, interesting, because I have the option knight e4. What is coming after knight to e4? Oh, as well, I can play the move knight a6. Probably he's going to take. This is a problem. As well, I can go with the move queen to a5. So many options here for black. Which one should I choose? Which one to play here? I don't know. Maybe queen a5, just the most simple one, because we're gonna win the pawn back. Knight on d2. He plays so quickly. How is it possible that he's so fast? Is it such an obvious position for my opponent? Okay, I think I can take, no? Knight goes to b3. And then we just go back to b6. Looks normal, so let's take. Let's go to b6 as we planned. And what is a4? Wow, he plays all the moves like he would play a bullet game. Way he does it. Okay, let's go knight c6 to develop the piece. a5. Let's go back. How is it possible that he plays instantly? What is going on here? So, is there an idea of a6? I don't think so. Not so dangerous. Can we try to play knight h5 somewhere? We have the bishop covering the square, so this is not possible. We have to get the bishop into the game, and usually it is the move bishop f5, which looks pretty normal. So let's play the move bishop on f5. a6. He plays a tempo. What is it? What is this? Okay, b6. Now, finally, our opponent starts to think for a little bit at least. Because before he played just a tempo. How is it possible to play a bullet game? So he plays basically a bullet game against us. Well, what to say, what to say. I believe my position is, by the way, quite good here with the black pieces. So let's get just the rook into the game. Knight on c3 might be doing good because of knight on b5. Attacking the pawn on a7. On the other hand, there is c2 pawn hanging. So it might be a good knight, it might be a bad knight. Rook on c8, very, very good. Next move, queen on d7. Next move, eventually knight on e4. In case I manage to change the knight, black is at least equal. At least. So, after a bullet play by my opponent, finally he starts to think a little bit, but maybe black is already doing very, very nice here. Of course, it depends. It depends on next couple of moves. g4, like what? This is very risky. Very risky play, g4. I would not advise you to push g4 when you have king on g1 and so many pieces on the board. Let's go back. Bishop to e6, g4. We play against very, very aggressive opponent. Incredibly aggressive. g4. Maybe it's possible to play like that, but it's so risky. So, let's see what happens next. And of course, welcome everyone to the live stream. I hope you're having a great day. For me, it is already midday in the Emirates. So, let's see what happens next. g4 on the board. g5 idea, I think I have just knight e4, or basically doesn't matter. I can choose where to go with my knight g4. It looks so dangerous. It looks so dangerous, a play of our opponent. Bishop on e5. How does it help? This is the main question. I don't know. I don't know how the move bishop e5 helps. We can choose to play the move knight on e4. Just to change the knights is gonna be, I think, a beautiful position for black. Yeah, why not to do that? Why not to play knight on e4? On the other hand, I can also try to sacrifice on c3, also interesting. I can play some solid move like knight e8, knight on d6. This is also looking good. So, because we play a very aggressive opponent, maybe let's change a couple of pieces. I don't think he's a good endgame player. Usually people who are so aggressive are not feeling too well in an endgame. So, maybe endgame. Maybe endgame is the right strategy here for black. Let's see. Should we take or should we take e5 first? I think we should just take on e4. Most probably he will take on g7, yes. And now still you can see that the king on g1 is not a great piece, because I'm gonna play eventually. I think I should push, no? Yes, I will just push again the king on g1. Looks so dangerous to play with the king on g1. I don't know. Something like this, personally, I would rather not try because it feels just bad. Now black is gonna start an attack. White has nothing up. Pawn on a6, it could be a good pawn, but as well it could be a very bad pawn, because in many endgames this pawn is just gonna fall. G f5 it was not a must, but I think it feels good. F4 coming next. F4, yeah, he plays the best move. F4, I also saw that this is the best. How can we proceed with our attack? We can take to make his structure even worse. Or a simple queen on d6, maybe. Also to take feels good, I don't know. Should I take or proceed with the move queen to d6? Maybe queen on d6 first, because now I would like eventually to win the pawn on f4. I'm trying to provoke him to play the move g5, yes, and now h6. This was my idea, that I would try to open once again the king side. Pawn on f4, pretty weak. Okay, we take it back. Next move is rook to h8, and we will try to push here on the h file. So the f pawn is pretty weak on as well. Maybe g5 somewhere. So let's go first rook h8, I think. And then we play king on g7, king on f7. So the king is very, very safe here. And then we're gonna put the pressure on the h file, yeah. So let's see the comments. Very weird comment. I think you're halfway in Hadi. Okay, pawn to b5. Too early for pawn on to b5. King on h1, g5 somewhere, but I think it's too early to play g5. So we follow our strategy. We get the h file for our attack. Rook on g1. Okay, but I think I can play rook h4 and just try to grab the pawn on f4, no? Is there something that I'm missing? f4 pawn is hanging. Next move is rook on h8. It starts to look extremely dangerous for white. He gives up on the pawn on f4. Why he does it? Now I can simply take the pawn, no? Or I'm missing something. I don't see what I'm missing. Strange. A little bit strange. So let's first play the move rook h8 to make the pressure even bigger. And next I will just take on f4. It looks already like a winning position, I think, because in case we win the pawn on f4, I don't think there is a way to play this with white. Oh, he gives us rook takes h2, but alright. He did it intentionally, but rook on g3. As you can see, the queen is way stronger than the pair of rooks in the current position, because the king is just so bad. We can play queen h4, check, king on g2, followed by the move f4, and I think the game is done. So we give a check. King has to go to g2. We play the move f4, and I think it is game over. There is nowhere to go with the rook from to g3, so we are winning. Quite a nice game, all in all. Quite a nice game. We had white with, I think, incredibly fast play in the beginning. He played basically bullet against me. Then g4, too risky play by white, and we managed to use the bad position of the white king. Okay, let's go with the next game. In case you have some questions, please write them in the chat. Sometimes I'm able to answer your questions, just it's difficult during I'm playing, because to play, comment, and to read simultaneously, not so simple. Hi DBM, welcome, welcome. We see Hi DBM, he's always with us. In case, of course, you enjoy our channel VChess, please like and subscribe. You would help us very much with this. How many steps have you calculated each move? It depends on the position. Sometimes no calculation needed, but sometimes we have to calculate. So it's very, very much depending what is happening on the chessboard. Do you live stream all the time? All the time? No, because I don't have time to live stream all the time. Many things to do. But sometimes, in case I can, I am live streaming, and I'm trying to do it once per day. Sometimes if I have a little bit more time, but sometimes I don't have time at all, so I cannot stream daily, because just imagine what kind of how much time it is consuming, and yes, very, very difficult. So I try to stream once a day, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes no. Yeah, it depends. What else do we have? I am 1650 FIDE rate, FIDE rapid. What tips will you give to improve? Always the same tip, just do tactics. First step is to be very, very good in tactics. Afterwards, you're building up on that. So for example, in case you're 1600, don't do openings. This is pure waste of time. This is usually just propaganda, chess propaganda, that openings are very good for players of any level. This is of course nonsense. This is usually sad because people want to sell you something. So this is why you hear it. Openings start to be important from the level of, let's say, 2000, 2200, and as higher you get, as more important are the openings, but in the beginning, it's just pure waste of time. Lichess is awesome site. Yeah, Lichess is great. I completely agree. As I learn, I'm noticing others at such low elo as me make moves that seem to sabotage the match for both players. Would it make sense for me to focus on playing higher elo players due to this? I don't think somebody sabotages anything on the chessboard. This is not a problem, but usually in case you want to improve, you should try to play as good opponents as you can. So in case you play stronger opponents than yourself, you improve faster. Yeah, this is definitely something good. So let's come back to the current game. We have the Caro-Kann defense. For those of you who are Caro-Kann fans, you're happy to see the Caro-Kann defense. Usually it is a little bit risky to play first move knight on d7 and then immediately with a move c5. Usually it's better to have the knight on e7 first. Why is it so? Because now I have few options. For example, I can take on c5 or take with a pawn on c5, and it's not so easy to take back with it on c5 because I have this bishop b5 check. So this is a problem. You should usually have the knight on e7 to play the move knight on c6. This is a key for black to fight. That's why I'm gonna take here on c5, and black is sort of like, what's next? We cannot take the pawn on c5 immediately. So still probably the move knight e7. Oh, he takes. This is very risky, very, very risky play by my opponent. We have the option of bishop on b5 check. Only move is to go back, which is already looking not great. I continue with knight on d4, attacking the bishop, and then c4. I believe this is for sure better for white. As well, we are capable of taking on c5. I guess there is a check on a5. This is the idea, to take with a queen, but then I play c3, bishop on e3, knight on d4. Also, this is looking better for white. So, too risky play for black to do something like this. Also, knight on d4 is looking very good. I want to take the bishop. I want to take and give a check. All of this is looking like a better position for white. We have to decide. So, knight on d4 looks so lucrative. It looks like it is a great decision. So I think I go with a move knight on d4, because not to play knight on d4, I would feel bad. To take was also a good idea. So, but okay, let's try. Let's try with the move knight on d4. I would like to take the bishop. After I will be able to take the bishop, white is doing better. This is out of question. The question would be only how much better. But it's already a good start. It's already a good start when you have to think about if you are much better or just a little better. It's a good start. So we have the move a6 been played, and this is what I said is a problem when you don't have the knight on e7. There is no knight on c6. Okay, let's take. Let's take the bishop on a5. White is having a beautiful position here. Look at the structure of black. Plus we have the bishop pair. So very, very good start for white. Now, what's next? We can get the knight on d4. Looks pretty good. But we might be able to try to win the game very quickly here. Maybe bishop on e3, followed by queen f3, and then long castle. It's by far not a must-do, long castle, but it's a possibility. To get the knight on d4. I also feel so good with a knight on d4. What to play? I don't know. I don't know what to choose from because so many good options. Knight on d4 or no knight on d4. Hard to say. Feels so good to have the knight on d4, but to play just a simple bishop e3 also feels just great. So which one? What should I do? What should I do here? Many good options. This is a problem in chess. Sometimes you have too many good options and sometimes you have no options at all. So let's see. I don't know. So I just go bishop e3. It feels good to put the bishop on e3. It cannot be a bad move. Oh, he takes. I'm surprised that he takes. I think knight e6 would have been better. No. Knight e7. He tries to keep the position alive, but it's going to be very, very difficult. So many weaknesses here for black. Way too many to be okay. I should be able here to start to play very aggressively. So I can attack the pawn on d5. I can attack the pawn on f5. I have moves as bishop on g5 somewhere. So I have this bishop b5 check. Doesn't work immediately, but I keep it in mind. I have the move c4. So many options once again, but I think queen on d3 looks quite nice. Knight cannot go to c6, g6. Also, the opponent is playing very fast. We are playing against opponents who are just blitzing out the moves against me. I don't know. Is it just because it's me, or is it because they know what they're doing? So we have the long castle option, not bad. We have the option of bishop g5, bishop f6, also not bad. So many good options. I think bishop g5 is just, I don't know. Can black survive something like this? Is it possible to survive there with the black pieces? Maybe. Maybe it's possible. Against the move bishop g7, I'm just gonna play f4, so this is easy. Let's go with the move, I think, long castle. We get the rook into the game. Feels good. In case of bishop on g7, I think I can go f4. Yes, it is not immediately over, but the advantage of white is so heavy here. Queen on c7. Okay, let's go f4. As we planned, we have the beautiful structure. Next move, king b1. Positionally, we're doing so well in the current position. So, rook on d8. What could be the idea? To play d4? Maybe, but I don't know if this is such a great move, d4. So we can just simply play the move king on b1. King on b1 is doing well. Knight on c6, knight on b4. Maybe c3. There is somewhere the move d4. Is it possible? Take. I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's go with the move c3. Just to be solid. We have the bishop pair. Next, we get the bishop to f3. Knight on c6. Where can the knight go? Not so many options here. The idea of white, very, very simple. Bishop e2, bishop f3. Just get the pawn on d5. So we continue with our idea. Also, g4 push is possible somewhere in case of the short castle, but I think it's good to put the bishop to f3 because how black is going to defend the pawn? Oh, a5. What is this? Let's put the queen to b5. Is there a way to defend the pawn on d5? Bishop f3 is coming next. Bishop on b6 is coming next. a5. Very, very strange play by my opponent. Ah, now I understand. He wants to beat me on time. This is why he plays so fast, because I just have 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, but I don't think he's going to manage to win on time. 3 minutes is not so little here. Bishop on b6. We are winning the exchange on d8, so the position of white is winning. Beautiful structure here. We are going to take the d5 pawn next. So, can we take the pawn? I think why not? Let's grab it. Next move, rook to d1. Next move, bishop on c4. Next move, rook to d7. So we bring like all the pieces into the game. As I always like to say, it is so important to have all the pieces in the game in case it's possible. So first, always get the pieces into the game, and then let's see what happens next. First, all the pieces. So I would like to have my rook from h1 now on d1 in case I can. And then so many options for white to proceed. We have the moves e6, we have the move bishop c4, so easy. So let's bring the last piece. Rook on d1, knight on c6. So it feels like it's time to finish the game, but maybe first let's get as well the bishop here on c4. And now maybe some of you already found the trick that I have here. I will give you a little bit time to find the next move of white. White has a winning continuation, very beautiful one. In case you see the winning move, don't write it in the chat, please. Immediately give a little bit time to others to think as well for themselves. We have a very beautiful winning continuation currently. It looks like the queen is trapped, but we have a winning continuation here. So I will make a move in 10 seconds because I would not like to lose on time. Last 3 seconds to think for yourself. I hope you found the winning combination, and it is to take on f7. Yes, we play queen takes f7, we take on d8. Here is a check from the bishop. And our opponent is playing king on e7. Of course, we can take the queen and win the game, but we can checkmate the black king in one move. Rook on d7 with a beautiful checkmate. He wants a revenge. So yes, we give him a revenge because I think it's very fair to give revenge to your opponent. In case, of course, the game was normal. So knight f3, knight on f6. Let's see what happens next. In case you are enjoying VChess content, my comments, please like and subscribe. This would help us very much to grow the channel. So, d6. Idea, knight on d7, and to play the move e5 next. Very normal King's Indian defense. So, e5, pretty standard. Takes. This is not so standard. Usually with white, it's better to play the move e4, not to take too early on e5, because now black is having quite decent play. So with white, e4 would have been a better choice. Bishop g5. What is the idea of bishop g5? I don't know. So I play the move h6. Because in case he gives me the bishop, I have bishop pair. So he goes back. A little bit strange idea. I don't understand very much what my opponent is doing. So let's attack the bishop once again. Maybe he wants to go back to the starting position now on c1, but well, thank you. We can only say thank you very much for that. Let's go with the move f5. h3. We go back. We would like to play the move e4 next to block the bishop on g2. And the bishop is gonna knight h4. What is knight h4? I think king h7. We are defending the pawn on g6. And potentially we would like to play this move e4. So why e4 is so good? Because we're gonna close the bishop on g2. We have to be a little bit patient. Maybe not to play it immediately, but also to play it immediately is looking very good. So I don't know. Maybe white is planning to play the move e4, so I can go like knight on c5, knight e6. Also quite interesting because the knight might get to d4. So should I play the move e4 or wait with the move e4? Hard to say. I like the move knight on c5, but I'm not sure it is the best, so maybe. Maybe not a bad decision to put a knight on c5. We develop the knight. We would like to go knight on e6 next. We would like to support the move e4 as well. To play just a simple bishop e6 is looking good. Quite unpleasant situation here on the d file. So we play queen e7, queen e8. Where should I go? Where should I go? Maybe queen to e8 feels a bit better than queen e7. Maybe queen e7 is also perfectly okay. e4, our opponent plays once again. So quick. So quick. Why everyone is playing so fast? I don't know. So let's take a look. We have here a couple of options. We should keep in mind just to take twice. What happens? So I take, knight takes, I take, bishop takes, I take back, queen takes, I take the pawn on h3. It looks like just a pawn up for black. If I'm not mistaken, I think we can just take twice and just to be a pawn up. As well, to play the move f4 is looking quite tempting because the bishop is so bad, and in case white takes the pawn on f4, then we have knight h5 idea. Also, this is very typical for a King's Indian, and usually it's quite good. But why not to take the pawn in case we can? Now we need only to think, should I take with a knight or should I take with something else? But why not to take the pawn with a knight? We just take the pawn and we say thank you. Let's take. Beautiful knight on e4, he takes, I take, and as we said, the pawn is hanging now on h3, so a little bit hard to understand what is the idea by white, because the queen on e8 is defending the pawn on g6. I think he has missed that white is not capable of taking on g6. Yeah, now the game just goes on and black is a full pawn up, so very good start of the game currently for us. Let's see what happens next. So queen wants to take the pawn on b7. Should we give him the pawn? I don't think so. We should not make any presents. So we have a couple of interesting options. Bishop on d7 followed by the move bishop on c6 is looking very interesting because well, the bishop is just going to be so powerful. On the long diagonal, we can play simple move c6, which is also looking very good. So, what should we do? What should we do here? I don't know. It looks like very nice. Doesn't matter what I play. Again, we're facing this problem, the decision. Decision is one of the hardest things in chess, because if you have just one move, you just play it, but when we have a choice, this is what makes the game so complex. I believe I like the move bishop on d7. I don't know why I like it, but I like it, because to put the bishop here on c6, it just feels like we're gonna checkmate the white queen, white king next. Yes, we had a lot of different moves here, a lot of different moves, but to put the bishop on c6 feels extremely natural. I had many moves. I had the move c6, I had the move queen on c7, queen on f7, sorry, queen f7. So I had so many options, but it is so tempting to put the bishop on c6. Look at this bishop here. In case you have the opportunity to put the bishop on c6, and you don't do that, you feel very bad inside, because you say, how did I not play the move bishop on c6 to have this kind of monster bishop here? Queen on g4. Are there some tactical ideas for white? I don't see them, so let's get now queen to f7. f2 is under attack. Next, we're gonna bring the rook to e8. This is one of the main rules for all my games that I play, as well for classical chess. I like to have all the pieces first in the game before I do something, in the best case, of course. Sometimes we cannot get it, but in case there is a chance to get all the pieces into the game, usually I like to bring all my pieces to nice positions And then let's think what happens next. Maybe instead of rook to e8, I could have done something else. Yes, for sure, I had many options. By the way, bishop b4, nice play by my opponent. Now we have the option of playing rook to d8, for example. Is it a win already or not? He has this rook to d1, not yet. So I saw that maybe I'm just already winning, but not yet. So let's go with the move rook to d8, I think. Do I miss something? I don't think so. Rook to d8, so the pawn on e5 is not hanging any longer. Maybe also h5 is actually very good, or g5. So many different options, but let's play safe. Let's play safe, not to give too many counter chances to our opponent. At the moment, still 5 minutes on the clock, so the time is fine. Position is looking beautiful. Everything is under control currently. Rook takes d2. In case bishop takes a fate, we're gonna take the rook. So this is looking great for black. In case white takes here, we give a checkmate on f2. So rook on e2, he doesn't like to change, he wants to eat my rook on f8, of course. We don't give him this kind of chance, so let's play a simple move, rook e8, and bishop on c3. So he continues attacking. By the way, I had probably the move rook to d4, but alright. Can I go g5 now? Because in case a knight goes away, we have this bishop f3. This would be game over. As well, h5, where does the queen go? Queen on g5, I catch the queen by playing bishop on h6. So we have as well the option of playing h5, looks very good. So let's calculate once again. g5, knight goes here on f5. I would like to play bishop d7 and just win the knight. Is it game over? Is there a defense? I don't see a defense. If there is no defense, we just win the game straight away by playing the move g5, so let's double check once again. g5, there is some kind of queen f5 idea. Of course, this endgame is winning for black, but it's not over instantly, yes, so this is not over. That's why maybe to play the move h5 is the better choice to avoid this queen f5 check. Now, after h5, I think queen h3 is sort of must, because there is no other square to go. So we will see the move queen h3 being played next, and then I think we have even option on like g5, but then again queen f5, yeah. Let's not allow him to play the move. Oh, he goes queen on g5. Wow, this is surprising, because bishop h6. Do we catch his queen by playing bishop on h6? Is there something? Let's double check. Let's stay calm, not to miss something. Bishop on h6 seems to be winning. Let's go. Let's go with the move. Bishop on h6. As you can see, we trapped the queen on g5. It happens so rare that you manage to trap a queen. Queen is usually running. Queen is very good in running, so to trap a queen is a rare thing, but we managed to trap the queen. Bishop pair, so powerful. Bishop on c6, what a beast. Bishop on h6 now, attacking the queen. Queen has no squares to go. That's it. That's it. The game is over. Well, he takes on d8. I take it back. What's the point of this? I don't know what is the point. To play just with the queen down, well, the chances are not very high when you are a queen down. We defend simply and now I give you a little chance to think by yourself, but no, not yet, because I thought I am winning with the move queen takes e8, but it is not, because take rook on d1 check, he goes back with a rook on e1, so there is no checkmate. That's why we play the simple move bishop on g7. We have a queen up position. There's zero chance for white to survive a position like this. So bishop on g7, very simple move. And in case bishop takes g7. No, he doesn't take. He goes with the move bishop on b4. So we have the move rook d1, for example. I think it is just completely winning. We have as well many other moves which are completely winning. So let's go with the move rook on d1. In case he takes, I'm going to take with a queen on e8, and then the queen gets to e4. So being a queen up is a very pleasant thing. We can put the queen to any square. Let's go to d7 and let's give a checkmate next. I think being a queen down to resign would be not a bad move. But the game continues, so we have to deliver a checkmate. As promised, queen gets to h3. Now the bishop on c6 decides the game. So we won. We won the game. All in all, a little bit too easy, but all in all, interesting game. The bishop on c6 played it decisive role. So like and subscribe in case you're enjoying the VChess content. Let me read for a second the comments. So, interesting comment. I'm very good at tactics, about 2300 in Lichess puzzle, but I'm sometimes don't see simple tactics. I see some contradiction here. In case you are very good in tactics, you should be able to see easy tactics. Usually you start with easy tactics and then you go to the difficult tactics. So how to be at difficult tactics and don't see the easy tactics usually. This is not what is happening. Very strange, very, very strange. Let me read the comment of HDBM. By the way, we're searching for a new opponent. For the moment, no opponents. We keep on searching. HDBM is asking a question. Do you think the GM title gives you a psychological advantage on your opponents? I think in some cases, maybe. Maybe in some cases, yeah. This could be possible, but in other cases, not. So I think, for example, in case you're playing young players, they just don't care. They just don't care. So let me give you an example. When I was younger and I had a chance to play against GM, first of all, it was quite rare to play against a GM. And of course, it was something very, very special. So I had a huge respect playing against a GM. And then I remember my first super tournament that I have played. It was in Dortmund. And I've been facing all these top GMs, top 10 chess players of the world, Kramnik, Liko, Anand, and during the games I always thought, wow, these are the best players of the world. I'm playing the legends. You feel a little bit shy at this moment because it's like something very, very special. You are respecting these people so much. But I think the current youth respects nothing and nobody. This is why we have as well many comments in the chat, some ridiculous stuff. Some boys are writing nonsense. I think the people changed a lot. People been much more respectful before. The older generation and the young generation, they just don't care. So this has changed. Let's proceed with the move d6. So we have this kind of Spanish-Italian opening. Something in between. Bishop b3, bishop gets to c2 next. We play with the move h6. Quite a solid opening. Let me read some of the other comments. How many openings should I learn with 1500? I think 0. You don't need openings to become better. You have plan or you analyze spontaneously? I don't understand this question. I analyze what I believe to be the best. So I try to comment the way I see the chess game. Knight h7, for example, it's a very typical idea. We have a plan to get knight on g5 as well as to play king h8 followed by the move f5. So for example, rook e1 doesn't support really anything. That's why we play the move king h8 followed by the move f5. So this is one of the possible ideas. So let me read. The first of the board tournament when I faced title players, when there was no candidate master, beat me in 3 moves. Yeah. Alright, let's go with the move f5 as promised. We play the move f5. So it's a very risky opening for black, but it's a very interesting opening. So now we have to choose to take on d4 or to play bishop takes f5. Both deserves attention, both has up and downs. I don't know what is better. I think both again is very possible. So let me take maybe on d4. So we play bishop takes f5 next, and we have this kind of beautiful structure for black. In most of the cases, white should aim to take with a pawn, because in case you take with a knight, I'm just gonna take back, and this position is for sure good for black. So with white, we usually take with a c-pawn. I'm gonna take on f5, and then this kind of d5 stuff, but I think I have knight on b4, followed by the move knight on d3, so I'm in time. I'm in time to get very active. So, the chess world changed after the Queen's Gambit. I don't know if it's changed, but yeah, a lot of new players, a lot of new people got into chess, which is of course very good. On the other hand, this is a problem that the average level of a chess player dropped a lot. But okay, like everywhere, there are some good things and some bad things in everything. We have the knight here on h7. We should try to get the knight to g5. This is idea number 1. Idea number 2 is to play knight on b4. Very aggressive. Get the knight on d3 next. Can we get the knight on d3? Maybe. In case we get the knight on d3, this means trouble for white. So is it working? Not sure. It feels a bit weird, but maybe. Knight on b4, let's go. Let's go for knight on d3 idea. In case now black manages to get this knight on d3, it's gonna be a beautiful position for black. But maybe there is something that white can do against it. Let's see. The next move is going to be decisive, at least from the positional point of view. It means or black is doing well, or maybe white has something to push on black. Let's see. Let's see. What happens next? We have here some bishop e7, not perfectly positioned. Maybe bishop f6 next could be. In theory, a good idea. We have to bring the rook from a8 to the center. Knight e4. Interesting. What happens in case I go d5? What is the idea for white? To put the knight on g3. I think this is the idea for white. Then I will move my bishop back, and still we have the idea of knight on d3, so this is not changing much. Maybe I should go knight on f6, because knight on g3 I will go bishop h7. This looks also pretty decent. The question is d5 to close the bishop, or knight f6 to get the piece into the game. I don't know. I don't know what is the better choice here. I think d5 feels a little bit bad because the knight gets to e5, so we should not play the move d5. So, because of that, knight on f6 looks decent. Let's go. Let's go maybe with a move knight on f6. We are attacking the knight on e4. We have to be a little bit careful here with the knight on b4. The idea of knight on d3 is very good, but on the other hand, the knight is so poorly placed, so very double-edged decision to play the move knight on b4. Still, knight on d3, eventually getting next. We can get now the knight on d3, so yeah. It means probably knight on b4, it was okay. It was a decent decision. Now, should we play aggressive c5? Or should we continue with positional game? I don't know. Maybe also knight on d5 is looking not so bad, but there is bishop on d2, and then we have this pair of knights being not in the best position. What should we do here? Maybe a5 is making sense, maybe rook e8 is making sense, maybe just queen d7, something very positional, or the move c6, also very positional. I like the move c6 because it feels so good to put the pawn to c6. We are supporting the move knight on d5, we are supporting knight f on d5. We would like to play eventually queen to b6 in a good moment, not at the current moment. Queen on d2 and probably a5, I think. Idea a4, idea knight on d3 in a good moment. Again, we have to search for the right opportunity to play the move knight on d3. I could have gone now knight on d3, but I'm afraid a little bit that white is capable of catching my knight on d3. This is the question, should I take the risk or should I just play solid because we're doing so well? So there's basically no reason to risk here. Let's go with simple knight on d5. We're gonna take the bishop here on e3, so black has a wonderful position. This position is at least equal. Personally, I like the position of black. So, should we take the bishop or should we do something else? To take the bishop looks like a good move. We put the other knight on d5 next. White wants to be strong on the light squares, but doesn't look so dangerous. So let's go with a knight on d5. Because knight h4 idea could be dangerous, but how to get it with the white pieces? We have the bishop on e7. The bishop is like a rock. Let me take a look. What do we have in the chat? What a question. What is your opinion on Alien Gambit? I don't know Alien Gambit, and I don't want even to know what is an Alien Gambit because it's nonsense. We try to be more serious here. Alien Gambit. Nice. So, with the black pieces, we can continue playing positional chess, or should we go crazy with this exchange sacrifice? Very interesting exchange sacrifice. Difficult to say how it's gonna end, but I think it deserves attention. We should play it because it's just so funny. And look at this. We give now to play the move bishop on g5. We're attacking the queen. Next, knight f4 is coming, so we gave exchange, yes, but on the other hand, we will be now so active. Is there a way to defend in the current position for white? I think position is remaining pretty unclear. I don't think that I'm doing much better here with the black pieces, but it is a very active position, so we might be able to build up some heavy attack. To play knight f4 immediately, or to get maybe something like queen on d7 also looks so good. To play queen on d7 because I would like to play queen h3 together with the idea of knight f4. It looks so powerful to play queen on d7. I think I'm gonna play it. I don't know if it is the best, but it feels like it is so good to play it. Should I play it? Let's go. Let's go with the move queen d7. Not sure it is the best. Great knight on d5. And we have here the idea to take and knight f4, so g6, because he would like to change my queens. So by playing g6, I don't give him this opportunity. Queen takes h3 is coming next. Knight f4 is coming next. Rook f8 is coming next. So this is some kind of slow push against the king of white. Position is remaining not that obvious, so this is not an easy position. With a bit of luck, I believe black might be doing very well, but we have to be a little bit lucky here. Let's see if we will be lucky. I hope my knight on d5 is going to be a beast. Queen on e4. What is the point of this? If I go knight f4, and then I want to take the pawn. How is the defense of white? After knight f4, there is some knight e2, but this is not so great, I think. So let's go with the move knight f4 in case I'm not missing anything. Black is doing well. Queen e4 might have been not the best. Now I would like to take on h3. with a queen, and it would be a checkmate. So how to defend from this checkmate? I see only the move knight on e2, but knight e2 I can play simple rook on e8, I think. Okay, there's a sacrifice of a queen, but this is gonna be better for black. I can also play first the move d5, the queen gets to e5, then I can go knight on d3. Also, this is looking like a much better position for black. I think I'm gonna do that, yeah. This is looking like a good decision to play d5. After the move knight on e2, I have this d5. Queen takes h3, might be the next move. Queen e4, queen e4, not the best continuation, I think, for white. Now it seems like we have everything under control, so it was a nice maybe exchange sacrifice. From the practical point of view, we give exchange, and we should always remember the rule that usually attacker is having a slightly higher chance in case, let's say, the position is equal. Always take the side of the attacker, because there are way more people who are defending not so well and attacking very, very well. So attacker, from the practical point of view, is having a little bit higher chance, practically speaking. Of course, in case you go to the very, very top end of the chess players, of course, top chess players are good in the defense, they're good in the attack, but most of the club players are better in attack and a little bit worse in the defense, so it's like a practical tip. So, what else? I see some huge discussion about Alien Gambit. Okay, this is not so serious. I see a question by HiDBM. Captain, why didn't you put on your chess account that you are a streamer? I believe if I want to be official streamer of chess.com, I have to make an agreement with them. So I don't want to have this kind of agreements because I just stream. I'm not a worker of chess.com. That's why I don't have this kind of official streamer sign by chess.com, because I think I need to apply for that, and I don't want to do that. We have the move knight on e2 as we expected. So my idea was to play the move d5. Still, I believe it might be the best. Maybe I have opportunity of playing rook e8. There is queen takes e8. I take h3, king g2, take h3, bishop on d2. Also, this wins the game. Yes, so d5, queen goes here, knight on d3, queen g3, I take. Also, this is looking almost winning, so I don't know which move should I choose. Both is looking winning, rook e8 and d5. Maybe let's go rook e8 because I just win material straight away. So take, this is what we've been expecting. Knight on h3, check in between, very important. So king on g2, there's nothing else. This is what we've been calculating, or king h2. I don't think it makes major change here. So we take, and the move bishop d2. This is what we've been calculating. Now after bishop d2, the rook has no squares to go because the knight is falling on e2. So the game is done. In a blitz game, everything can happen, but the game is over. We have a winning position, and of course, we should be able to win the current game. It would be a surprise if we don't. Rook cannot go nowhere. I believe it is game over. I think our opponent is going to resign the game because he sees no more chances. That's it from the current game. Quite interesting game. Yes, he resigns. He sees no more chances. All in all, not a bad game. I hope you're enjoying my comments. I hope you're enjoying the chess. We have a lot of different educational content. Check out our books in PDF for download. We have great books. We have a very nice application for the whole family fun. Connect the application, download it from the stores, connect to TV, and then you can play it with a full family at home. Feels so nice. Otherwise, join us by the next stream. The next stream is going to be by Gemilin. She is doing this kind of funny stream. She's just a beginner, so support Gemilin as well. I think you have a lot of fun during the streams with Gemilin. That's it from myself. I see in the chat in the end game. That's bad though. I don't know to what it belongs. In any case, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had some fun. I hope you learned a couple of things. So yeah, is Gemilin your daughter? No, she is not my daughter, man. Take a look at us. How can we be one family, even theoretically? So again, thank you all for watching. See you next time. Like, subscribe, take a look at our products. I think we have great products at VChess. And of course, I hope to see you in worst case tomorrow, same time. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tonight because very busy schedule today, Monday, beginning of the week, many things to do. In the evening, I am not sure if I can be here. But latest tomorrow, more or less same time. Hope to see you again. Have a great day. That's it from myself, and bye.